It was supposed to be just another Super Bowl halftime show, another dazzling moment to cement itself in music history. But what went down in front of over 100 million people wasn't just about music, it was a message loud and clear. Kendrick Lamar didn't just perform. He took aim and fired a direct shot that shook the entire culture. For years, fans have watched the icy tension between Drake and Kendrick bubble beneath the surface. It wasn't some casual rap chatter, it was real competition, a rivalry brewing for more than a decade. And by 2024, that quiet tension erupted into a full-blown war that had the whole rap world glued to the screen. Kendrick didn't just shade Drake, he straight up mocked him in front of the entire nation, live and unfiltered. When Kendrick stormed that Super Bowl stage, he broke the rules of hip-hop and entertainment forever. No rapper had ever used America's biggest stage to publicly call out another superstar. And what did Drake do? At first, absolutely nothing. No slick Instagram captions, no clever tweets, no subliminals, just silence. But silence from Drake, that never lasts long. When he finally struck back, it wasn't on Twitter, it was live in front of a roaring crowd in Australia. That clapback moment instantly became rap history, a scene fans will talk about for decades to come. By then, Kendrick's 2025 halftime show was already hyped as one of the most anticipated performances ever. Expectations were sky high. He had just dropped a critically acclaimed album, and the world expected a setlist stacked with hits and fresh heat. And that's exactly what he delivered. At first, Kendrick came out swinging, high energy, cinematic, running through his biggest hits with the type of fire only he can bring. The choreography was flawless, the visuals absolutely jaw-dropping. But then, something shifted. Halfway through the performance, the beat slowed, the lights dropped, and Kendrick stepped right to the edge of the stage, locking eyes with the camera as if he was about to drop a bomb. And that's exactly what he did. It wasn't just the words, it was the delivery. One razor-sharp line, a smirk, a dramatic pause to let the crowd explode, and suddenly, the whole internet caught flames. The stadium erupted, chanting in unison, and while casual viewers thought it was just hype, real hip-hop fans instantly recognized the shot. This wasn't a random lyric. This was a direct missile aimed at Drake. Kendrick didn't just tease, he toyed with Drake live on the Super Bowl stage. Imagine this, Drake's team reportedly threatening lawsuits if Not Like Us got played, and Kendrick still did it with a grin. That's bold, that's reckless, and that's iconic. When he smirked into the camera after saying Drake's name, the moment instantly went viral. Memes flew around the globe in seconds. And then came the dagger. I want to play their favorite song, but you know they love to sue. The whole world knew who he was talking about. He even slid in a Serena Williams reference, someone Drake has been tied to more than once, turning the knife even deeper. Kendrick Lamar performing Not Like Us, throwing shade and calling Drake out in front of over 100 million live viewers at the Super Bowl, that's history being written in real time. One stunned spectator summed it up perfectly. This is going down in history. Meanwhile, legal complaints circled, with UMG brushing off Kendrick's lyrical fire as baseless accusations. But by then, the damage was done, and the culture had already chosen sides. After Drake's accusations started making headlines, UMG wasted no time firing back with a sharp statement. They flat out rejected his claims, saying, "Not only are these accusations untrue, but the idea that we would ever try to damage Drake's reputation is illogical." They reminded everyone that they've poured massive investments into his career. Years of resources, employees worldwide pushing his music to the top, helping him build not just commercial success but personal fortune. UMG didn't stop there. They exposed what they saw as Drake's game. They pointed out that throughout his career, Drake thrived off using UMG's platform to release music that fueled his rap feuds, throwing shots at rivals left and right. Now suddenly they claimed he wanted to twist the legal system to silence another artist's expression while still demanding profits from the very machine that built him. That's a bold accusation in itself, and just when people thought the night couldn't get wilder, Serena Williams popped up as an unexpected guest during Kendrick's halftime set. The crowd went crazy when the tennis legend hit a crip walk on stage, something she was once dragged for doing at Wimbledon back in 2012 to celebrate her Olympic gold. The fact that she showed up here was explosive on its own, but considering her alleged history with Drake, that sent the internet into overdrive. Fans debated whether the old backlash she got was racially charged, while others focused on the petty brilliance of Kendrick, including her at this exact moment. For days, the online world was ablaze. Everyone was holding their breath, waiting to see how Drake would clap back, Would he throw shots on Instagram? Would he surprise drop a diss track? Or would he act like it never happened? For a moment, it looked like he was staying silent until the middle of his Australian tour when Drake finally broke. He posted pictures of himself standing in front of a sea of fans, signaling that his response was about to begin. Drake finally broke his silence on Instagram, and he did it in the most cinematic way possible. Flooding the platform with photos, his caption simply read, "Cinema." But it wasn't just the photos that grabbed attention. It was the icy flex included in them. Front and center was his massive OVO owl chain, a monster piece stacked with more than 100 carats of Asher-cut diamonds. Designed by celebrity jeweler Jason of Beverly Hills, the chain was Drake's shining symbol of power, representing his label OVO, October's very own, named after his birth month. But fans weren't slow to connect the dots. When Kendrick Lamar hit the Super Bowl stage wearing his own chain, many saw it as a sly reference to his "Not Like Us" lyric about a minor, a detail that had already sparked wild theories. To a lot of fans, this was Drake firing back, showing off his signature chain as if to reclaim the narrative. Comment sections lit up. One fan boldly declared Drake undefeated. Another added, "Let them watch and enjoy," while a third chimed in, "Still on top." And Drake didn't stop with Instagram. He used his Australian tour to make things personal. Just hours before Kendrick's halftime spectacle, Drake grabbed the mic and addressed his audience with a fiery speech about exes who wasted your time, your energy, even your soul. He told the packed stadium, "This is to all your exes that thought they could play you. If you're doing better than your ex, I want to see you turn up." The crowd went insane, chanting every word as if it was aimed straight at someone specific. Hip-hop tension has always thrived on battles, but this wasn't just competition. It was turning into a global showdown where every lyric, every post, every chain had a hidden meaning. Hip-hop has always thrived on lyrical battles, fiery rivalries, and the endless fight for the crown. But the Drake versus Kendrick saga has never been your typical rap beef. It's not built on cheap diss tracks or reckless callouts. This war has always been chess, not checkers. Every move feels calculated. Every lyric is a coded message. Every silence is strategy. Drake's response in Australia was way more than a casual clapback. It was a statement. It was him planting his flag and declaring Kendrick wasn't going to have the last word. This wasn't Drake the pop superstar or Drake the chart-topping hitmaker. This was Drake the tactician, reminding the world that he knows the rap game better than almost anyone alive. When he grabbed that mic and delivered those lines, he wasn't just talking to Kendrick. He was addressing the entire industry, warning everyone that if Kendrick wanted war, then Drake was ready to go all in. But the burning question remains, what happens next? Kendrick isn't the type to waste time in petty back and forths. He's surgical, he's precise, he lets his music do the speaking. And in hip-hop, silence can be dangerous. Sometimes silence looks like power, but other times, it looks like surrender. If Kendrick doesn't respond, people will start asking if that Super Bowl shot was just performance art, a headline grab, instead of a real declaration of war. Was the halftime stunt simply buzz for an album rollout, or was it the opening move in a dangerous feud that's about to escalate? Drake's move on that Australian stage didn't just answer Kendrick. It opened the door wider, daring him to step through. And if there's one thing we know about Kendrick Lamar, it's that he doesn't step into battles unprepared. When he moves, it's with precision, and the entire world feels it. The rap world didn't waste a second reacting. Social media exploded the moment Drake fired back in Australia. Memes, clips, and hot takes flooded timelines within minutes. Some fans were crowning Drake the winner already, while others swore Kendrick was just setting up his next checkmate. Twitter threads, TikTok breakdowns, YouTube live streams, every corner of the internet was dissecting every lyric, every gesture, every pause from both men. What made the moment even crazier was the way other rappers started chiming in. Some subtly liked posts, some dropped cryptic comments, while a few straight up picked sides. Hip-hop hasn't seen this much open division since the Drake versus Meek Mill saga, but this time the stakes feel way bigger. This isn't about ghostwriting accusations or chart placements. This is about legacy, dominance, and who really owns the culture right now. Industry insiders were whispering that Kendrick had already recorded something, just waiting for the perfect drop date. Producers close to him hinted at nuclear material in the vault, music so sharp it could end careers overnight. Meanwhile, Drake's camp was said to be doubling down, preparing not just music, but a full-blown media blitz to control the narrative before Kendrick could land his blow. Fans were left on edge, refreshing timelines every hour, desperate for the next move. Would Kendrick unleash a diss so devastating it would silence Drake's bravado? Or would Drake keep playing offense, dropping bombs before Kendrick could breathe? One thing was clear, the rap game hadn't felt this electrified in years. Every post, every feature, every public appearance suddenly felt like part of the battlefield, and the world was watching with popcorn in hand, waiting for the next shot to be fired. For days, Kendrick stayed completely silent, and that silence was deafening. No tweets, no Instagram posts, no interviews, nothing. And the longer he kept quiet, the louder the speculation grew. Was he ignoring Drake on purpose, letting the world stew? Or was he behind the scenes plotting the kind of response that would change rap history forever? Fans couldn't decide if this was genius patience or a risky gamble that made Drake look untouchable in the moment. Meanwhile, Drake acted like he had already won. He was partying, posting, smiling for cameras, showing off his chain, and moving through his tour like a man untouchable. His confidence turned into arrogance in the eyes of some, with clips of him celebrating too early spreading like wildfire. Comment sections started roasting him. Drake dancing like he forgot Kendrick plays the long game, one fan joked, while another warned, he's way too comfortable, Kendrick is watching. Industry insiders claimed Kendrick's camp was locked in, crafting a project designed not just to clap back, but to leave scars. Rumors swirled that the Compton rapper had been recording late-night sessions with producers, building something calculated, something deadly. People close to the situation even whispered that Kendrick wasn't going to release just a diss. He was preparing a whole narrative, a piece of art that would dismantle Drake's image piece by piece. The tension was unbearable. Fans were split. Half of them thought Drake's momentum was unstoppable, while the other half believed Kendrick was simply sharpening the knife. And in hip-hop, one well-placed strike can erase months of bravado in a single verse. The stage was set, the players were in position, and all that was left was the next move, Kendrick's move. And then, it happened. After weeks of silence, Kendrick finally made his move, and it shook the entire industry to its core. Out of nowhere, at midnight, a new track dropped with no promo, no rollout, no warning, just a black cover, a link, and 3 words that sent the internet into meltdown. For the culture, from the very first bar, it was clear. This wasn't just a diss, this was a dismantling. Kendrick's voice cut through like a blade, precise and controlled. No wasted words, no filler. Every line felt like it was designed to pull Drake apart, exposing insecurities, poking holes in his image, and reminding everyone why Kendrick is one of the deadliest pens in hip-hop. He didn't shout, he didn't rant, he executed calmly, like a surgeon who had been planning this for years. The internet exploded instantly, Twitter threads, Instagram lives, reaction videos on YouTube, with people screaming at the screen. Fans called it a lyrical nuke, the type of track that stops time in the rap world. Lines were already being quoted everywhere, and the hashtag number sign for the culture was trending worldwide within minutes. Even more savage, Kendrick didn't just attack Drake, he painted the whole picture. He talked about legacy, about what it means to stand on art, about carrying hip-hop forward without needing gimmicks. He didn't just respond, he positioned himself as the leader, the cultural anchor, the one who refused to bow to the industry machine. Drake's fans were scrambling, defending him online, while Kendrick's supporters declared victory before the night was even over. The rap world hadn't felt this kind of earthquake in years. One track, and suddenly the balance of power shifted overnight. The ball was back in Drake's court. But the question was, could he even respond to something this heavy? If Drake responds, trust it won't be sloppy or rushed. It won't be some random throwaway bar in a verse or a vague Instagram caption. It'll be sharp, calculated, and aimed to flip the entire conversation back in his favor. The only question left is, will this feud explode all over again? Because if it does, you already know, it's going to get nasty, and the whole rap world will be watching every second. The fans are on edge, the culture is bracing for impact, and the next move could change everything. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Be sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this with your friends. It helps a ton. And don't forget to turn on that post notification bell so you never miss the next drop. Until then, I'll catch you in the next one.